So today I'm going to go ahead and climb underneath this truck. This truck is from Arizona. It's a nice rust-free truck. I'm going to show you exactly how rust-free by climbing up underneath and showing you every inch of the frame and all of the sheet metal up underneath there. Let's go take a look. First thing I want you to see is this trailer hitch right here. He used to take this to the river and launch his boat. So being that this was exposed to a little bit of water, you do have some surface rust, but you can see that it is not rusted through anywhere. Here you can see this has a red tinge to it. That is the original primer from the factory. You can see the gas tank has a good beefy guard on it. The gas tank looks like it's in good shape. We can also see when we're up in here, all of this is looking good. All of these lines are nice and straight, so we know that we haven't had any accidents. And everything is exactly where you want it. You can see all these lines are straight. You can see the frame back here. It still has a good amount of the factory paint on there. It's just some really light surface rust. Now the rear axle had some work done on it in the past. It was replaced according to the customer, the original one owner customer. And it does look like it has been taken out and had some repairs done to it because the paint on it is a little bit darker than everything else. Moving on back, we can see here again, all of this is really, really nice. You can see the frame has absolutely no flaking on it. There's no cracks or anything. The shocks have a couple of miles on them probably, but they are all in good shape and there's no problem with them. The leaf springs are reportedly a 1-inch lift. Looks pretty stock to me, but that's what the original owner said. You can see all of this is nice and straight. There's no damage to any of this. This right here is the passenger side. Again, I want you to notice that lip right there and how perfect that is. How straight all these lines right here are. I want you to take a look right up in here. Now this is a really common place for these Blazers to rust. You know, the rear tire's throwing all kinds of mud and debris and everything up in here. This here a lot of times rusts out, dirt and debris gets up in here, but you can see this has no flaking rust, no bubble rust, light surface rust only, and even that's not that big of a deal. We can see our frame doesn't have any damage. We can see the front cab support there and how it's looking really nice. Again, it'll get full of dirt and it'll cause rust. We're looking at the inside of the rocker panel on the right side here. Again, no rust, no bubble rust even. Drive shaft is nice, no dings or dents. Mufflers are in good shape. Pipes are a little rusty, but that don't mean for nothing. Just light surface rust. Here again you can see that is the original from the factory red primer. You can see the transfer case has some minor leaks, but you can see here that it doesn't have a puddle underneath and all this is pretty dry. So that's all pretty much normal stuff that you're looking for. Here we're on the left side, rocker panel. No bubble rust, nothing. Nothing. Moving on up, transmission oil pan, no dents, no dings, no nothing. These motor mounts are looking good. You can see the oil pan does not have any excessive oil on it. You can see the frame on this side. You can see all our mounts, all our supports, everything is nice. This was not taken off-road. This was not used as a 4x4. It was used by the family to just go to the river or the lake, and that was it. It wasn't driven on a daily basis or anything. Here you can see I've got brand new calipers on here. We can also see that the axle, see, it doesn't have any scarring where anybody's gone over any big rocks or anything. The shock mounts aren't messed up. Let's take a look at the front steering drag arm right here. And these right here will typically be all bent up if this was taken off-road and it saw a lot of action. Now the gearbox, you can see it has a little bit of a leak. They pretty much always do. But I have not had to fill up the power steering pump and the whole time I've had it. Another thing that we want to take a look for on these is that in this area where the power steering pump or box is, it will cause a lot of stress on the frame, and the frame will crack if it has enough stress on it. Also, sometimes people will do repairs in the past and they won't put these right here back on, these little spacers. You can see that's still on there from the factory. We can take a look and see that our front of our bumper mounts right here, you see how these aren't bent at all? They're nice and straight. Nice and straight. The bumper bracket's nice and straight. Your front balance. So this has not been in any accidents. Everything is pretty nice. This here is the right front inner fender well tub. Now right here, these typically will rust right here. But you can see this does not have any rust other than surface. A little bit of bubble rust, not even anywhere near here. I'm going to climb up on top, show you in the engine bay a little bit later. Here, this is really typical to rust. This is where the water comes out, a lot of dirt and mud and everything gets in there. It collects, it stops, and it's going to rust out sooner or later. You can see the rest of the tub on the right side is in really nice shape. The only bit of rust on the entire truck is just that right there. You can't see it. It's not going to do anything. It's not like the thing's going to give you any problems. This is the inner tub on the left side. Again, it's all nice and straight. There isn't even a hint of any bubble rust. Coming on back, you can see the brace on this one, and it did not rust. So probably when they went to the lake or whatever, I don't know, it just had more moisture on the right side for whatever reason.